Hey everybody, I'm Katrina, the owner of Kathleen Creations, Reefs and Things. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing great. It is Thursday, one more day, and it's Friday. You know, we always look forward to that. When you guys come on today, make sure you say hi. Make sure you let me know who you are and where you're checking in from. Because today we're going to do a burlap winter wreath. It's an easy one, not too expensive either. Now, the last wreath we did was a grapevine with fall picks and a sign. Now, that wreath is easy, but it's not that, inexpensive. I won't say cheap, because none of these wreaths are really cheap. I'm just reaching over here trying to see if I can pull you guys up on Facebook. So when you guys come on, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for you guys to come on, find me, realize that I am on Facebook. That's what I'm doing today. I'm on Facebook, coming on to do a video with you guys. I don't see it yet. But today, what we're going to be using today, let me put my book to the side. What we're going to be using today is burlap, right? You can get these rolls of burlap, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, wherever you want to shop at. But you can get these rolls of burlap. So we're going to be using burlap. That's going to be our theme today, making a burlap winter wreath. I'm just looking over here to see if I can find you guys on Facebook. Got to use both of my hands because my computer's not laying flat. It hasn't notified me yet, which I don't understand why, because it should be notifying me that I'm going live. Okay, we're going to keep going. Hopefully it does. It notifies me that we are live. That way I can see you guys' comments. Why is it not notifying me? I don't know. I want to see you guys' comments. But hey guys, let me know. Did you watch my last video? Let me know if you watched my last video. I want to know that. Yeah, I see me. I see me now. Definitely see me. Let me click it up so I can see the comments. So I can see comments. Okay. All right. So, hey, when you check in, make sure you let me know that you're checking in. Say hi. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you're checking in from. I'm sorry. Let me turn the volume off on this, so we don't get an echo. All right, and we're going to be making a real inexpensive, easy burlap winter wreath today. This is super easy. I'm actually going to try to put on a class, an in-person class at my job with this, because this is super easy, super easy. And I also have some fall picks here because I think I'm going to do another one with fall picks. But today we're going to do a winter one. So we first start off with having our burlap, and this is burlap. This is burlap that I bought from Walmart. This was $6.99 if I'm not mistaken, $6.99 at Walmart. Like I said, they have them at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, like I said, Walmart. So you can find this burlap anywhere. So I have 4 rolls here. I don't think we're going to use all 4 rolls, but I do have 4 rolls here on the side. I do have a 14-inch wire wreath frame, and I got my wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I just ordered them by the case. I don't bother looking anywhere else. I just ordered them from Dollar Tree by the case because I'm always using them. These are the picks that we're using today, and these picks came from Hobby Lobby, and they have bells on them. Who doesn't like a door that jingles during the holidays? Like, I love that. I love putting bells on my wreath designs because I love the fact that when they open and close, they're going to jingle. It's the holidays. We all love hearing that sound. Like as soon as we go to the store, as soon as we hear that guy outside the store ringing a jingle bell, we know it's winter. It's Christmas time. So these are the picks we're going to be using. And I picked these because these are quite simple. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. You can take simple things like this, a burlap and a frame with some ribbon and make a beautiful wreath. And that's what we're going to do today. Now, these are the ribbons that we are going to use for today. Okay? So these are the ribbons that we're going to use for today. This is like a, let me take the rubber band off so you can really see it. It's like the ribbon type, and it's got pine cones, berries, and the little bit of green pine and the red ribbon going through it with a little hint of gold. And the reason why I picked this is because you have the shiny bells, that's gold, and you have the red ones as well. So I wanted to bring that out. And then this has pine cones, and this has pine cones as well. So I wanted to actually bring that out. So that's kind of why I picked that ribbon. So that's one ribbon. And then this is another ribbon I picked it because it has the winter colors in it, the holiday colors in it, and it also picks up on that gold shiny part on the last wreath, on the last ribbon. So I wanted them to play off of each other. Then I wanted to use a ribbon that grounded those two together. So I wanted like a plain burlap ribbon that actually grounded the two ribbons together. And I just cut this ribbon. So this ribbon here, I'm using as the ground ribbon. What I mean by ground ribbon is I like to use a solid ribbon when I'm using ribbon that has color, right? Color and design. I like to use one ribbon that's an actual just solid color. And since we're using burlap, I wanted to bring out the more natural ribbon instead of using like a red or a green. I wanted to keep it grounded with the natural look of burlap. So these are the ribbons that we're using. Now this ribbon, I'm not quite sure where I purchased this ribbon at, but I know it couldn't be no more than $2 if I did. Matter of fact, it says $3, so I paid $3 for this. This ribbon right here is $10, and if I'm not mistaken, this is Michael's. So I think Michael's carries this brand. So this is ribbon that was at Michael's, and this is from last year. So I don't know if they're going to have it this year. This is the same ribbon. This ribbon is from Sam's Club, and this was from either last year or the year before last. I buy Sam's Club ribbon quite often because I like some of their ribbon. Like these ribbons are really, really nice. They're holiday ribbons. I don't really care for their sheer ribbons too much. But these are pretty nice, pretty good quality. So I like using them. So this was from Sam's Club. So these are ribbons that you can get. They're not too far-fetched, you know. It's not like you have to find a wholesale or anything like that to get. So once again, this is an easy wreath to make. And you can just have all your ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Go to the Dollar Tree. You know, matter of fact, they had Halloween burlap this year at the Dollar Tree. So I haven't seen the natural at the Dollar Tree, but you can go get your natural burlap at Walmart. Then you can go get your frames at the Dollar Tree. You can pick up some holiday ribbons at the Dollar Tree, and then find some picks. Now, I don't think the Dollar Tree carries picks, so you may have to go to either Walmart, which Walmart has a bunch of winter picks, or Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, wherever you want to shop at. So this, like I said, this is relatively inexpensive, and I think these picks were $4.99 a piece. Yes, these picks were $4.99 a piece, and these, like I said, were from Hobby Lobby. So let's get started. I explained everything. Let's get started. Let me show you this easy way to make this wreath. Okay, so let's take the wreath frame. Let's cut off this little tag. And like I said, when you come in, say hello. Hello, how you doing? Is that Shelly Decor? Shell's Decor. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I don't have my glasses on. I'm thinking I'm saying that right. And it's your first time watching. Hey, girl, how you doing? Come on in. Come on in. We're going to do something real simple and easy. And I watched you on social media, too, so you already know what I'm doing. But thank you for watching. We're going to cut this up, and we're going to open it up. And like I said, this is simple. It's not, you're not rocket science. I got to clean up my table. Oh, my goodness. It's a little dirty. I don't like working on a dirty surface, so let's clean this off. I had a couple of events. I had that vendor event, so I know I probably had placed a whole bunch of stuff on this table. Oh, also, pair of scissors. We're going to use the Easy Bow Maker to make my bow. You know how I love my Easy Bow Maker. I have also zip ties, and I'll explain them to you when we get to that point. I also have a couple of Chanel stems. If we're going to use Chanel stems or not sure, but I have them. I also have my trusty dusty Sure Binder cordless glue gun right here, which I think I'm going to buy another one because it's starting to leak glue on me. Not sure why. Matter of fact, let me plug that in so it can get nice and hot for us. So what do you guys have planned for this weekend? You have anything planned this weekend? Let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. I actually don't have none this weekend. I had the vendor event last weekend, and then I also had a balloon decor grand opening for a townhome that I had to drop off some balloon decors for some columns last weekend. So this weekend, me and my husband has a date night on Saturday, so we're hanging out Saturday, and then Sunday I'm probably just gonna be down here working. So let me know what you're doing this weekend. All right, so let's get started. I normally take my burlap, and I normally do it this way because I'm right-handed, so I like everything to come on the right hand. And I take my burlap, and I'll cut this. This is my rotary cutter. I have a rotary cutter, and I just do like a straight edge, kind of like you do when you do your deco mesh. I like to do the same thing with the burlap. Okay, let me just tell you guys this, just as a side note. If you deal with allergies and fine fibers bother you, I always suggest people that are not used to using burlap to put on a mask. The burlap gives off these little fine fibers, and you may start seeing my nose start running or something like that. It does bother me a little bit, but not too much. I'm used to it, so I don't worry about a mask because it doesn't bother me that much. But this can affect you and cause your nose to start running and mess with your allergies and so forth and so on. So if you're not used to using burlap, please wear a mask because these fine fibers do come off. This burlap, it just gives off these fine fibers that do mess with your allergies. So after we cut a good edge, straight edge, right? I want to go to the inside wire. So the inside wire, this is what I call the inside wire. This is the inside wire. But I don't want to use that wire. I want to use these two wires right here. Okay? These are the two wires that I'm going to use. Not this one, not the inside one, but the one next to it and the one after that. So it's the two middle wires, right? So we're going to use the two middle wires. And what I do is I take one roll of burlap, I fold it, and then I wrap it right around. See that wire is right in the middle? The wire is right in the middle. So you got one end on this side and one end on this side. And that's how it looks together. Right? That's how it looks together. So remember, the wire, you put it around the wire. And that's how it looks together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take me a zip tie. So I got a black zip tie right here, small black zip tie. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. Let me see if I put a piece of paper that you guys will be able to see the zip tie. So I have a zip tie. That's what I'm using. And then I'm going to attach this to the frame. So I'm going to take the zip tie and I'm going to go under the frame and through the burlap and back down. So I don't know if you guys can see that really well. But I went under the frame and through the burlap, came back on the other side and back under the frame. So now the zip tie, you see it? Both ends is back around that inner wire. Because I'm going to attach this. I'm going to go close it. And now I don't have to worry about that burlap coming off the wire, right? Because we've attached it. So we need our wire cutters. And now, see, look, that burlap is attached. It's attached. Now, I take my second roll of burlap. And I'll explain to you why in a minute. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to cut a straight edge with my rotary cutter. You can use your scissors. You don't have to use a rotary cutter, so don't get technical. If I say I'm using a rotary cutter and you don't have a rotary cutter, get a pair of scissors. Okay? And I toss everything on the floor because at the end of the night, I sweep all in here and clean. So I don't worry about throwing things on the floor while I'm crafting. So at this point, we have this one that's wrapped around that inner wire, that one inner wire. But now we need something to go to this inner wire, right? Because remember, we want to put something, we want to work with these two wires here, the two inner wires. So we attach the burlap, the first burlap roll to this one. Now we're going to attach, I didn't bring my water down here, wow. We want to attach the second burlap roll to this wire here, okay? So we're going to do the same thing we did this time. We're going to wrap it around the pole, and then we're going to attach it with the zip tie, okay? So we take the material. Let's put this over here so don't get too twisted up. Material, got this here, and then we take this, and we do the same thing. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this one on the floor so it's out of the way. And it's not going to hurt it if it's laying on the floor. You're going to pull it up and use it on your wreath. And when you pull it up, try to make sure you get it even. You see how these ends are even? Right? You see how the two ends are relatively even? See how that's even? You want to make sure your ends are even and you pull it up. See? Now you know your ends are even. So then you take your zip tie and you attach this around the wire, around your burlap. That way it'll stay. Okay? So we're going to go around the bottom like we did the first one. Go back around. Go around it. And then we're going to attach it to the back. Just like we did the first one. So now we know our burlap won't go anywhere. Now this one didn't tie straight. So we look at it again. Make sure it's straight. Go around to the bottom, turn it over, and then we just attach it. Remember, you got to find a cluster of boxes on your burlap that are actually closed, because if you do it too close to the end, it'll just come right out. It'll unravel. It'll come right out. So now we have two areas. Let me hold this over here. So if you're going to pull it on this side, I'll put these on this side. Throw them on that side of the floor, because I'm going to have the material rolling up on this side of the table. So now we have that part of the burlap to work with, and we got two rolls of burlap attached to this wreath frame. Let's just get them lined up. So this is one, the last roll we just attached, and this is the first row we attached. You see how I have them in my hand? See? So you pull up one roll, and you pull it, attach it together with one hand. You do the second one the same way. See how it's attached together? And it's around that wire. That's what's holding it. It's around that wire. So we want to feed the material the same way. And I'm going to show you guys. Now, when you first getting started, you may want to do one roll at a time until you get used to it. I'm used to it, so I go ahead and do 2 rolls at a time so I can get this wreath done, so it doesn't take as long. Now, when I first got started, yes, I did 1 roll at a time. So if you want to, just take this inside outer ring, right? This ring right here, and we're going to hold the burlap. We're going to pinch and even up the rest of the burlap. See how we got that? See that? And we just bring it in. We grab it with this hand, and we come down here. We pinch up another one. Make sure it's even. And we bring it in. We come down. We even out some more burlap. Right? We're just pinching it and sliding it down. And the reason why we're pinching is because we're pulling it up on the wire and we're sliding it down. We pull it up. Try to make sure it's even, pull it in. Pull it up, make sure it's even, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so if it's a little off, it's fine. It's fine. You're not going to be able to tell anything. I promise you, you won't be able to tell anything. So then we slide it down. Grab it up, we slide it down. Grab it up, slide it down. We grab both ends of the burlap, pull it up, slide it down. Both ends of the burlap, pull it up, slide it down. Both ends of the burlap, pull it up, slide it down. Both ends of the burlap, pull it up, slide it down. Both ends of the burlap, pull it up, slide it down. Both ends of the burlap, pull it up, slide it down. Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. Look at that. That's what it looks like. And we haven't opened it up. You see it's got a nice little wave to it. Okay? I'm going to stop there on that row because I'm going to go ahead and even it up with this row. Now, you can count how many times you scrunch it down. If you want it to be exactly even, if you don't, you won't be able to tell. Do not stress yourself. I know some people are like, how many times did you pull it up? How many you put in between each section? Go with the flow. Whatever you feel. If that section looks good, then you move on to the next section. Don't worry about it. Remember, I always say art is not rocket science. Okay? You're having fun. That's what art is all about, having fun. So we're doing the same thing here. See how I pulled it up? And then we're going to scrunch it up. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to scrunch it up. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to scrunch it up. I'm pulling this up, making sure I got both ends. I got it sideways. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, there you go. I got both ends and then I'm scrunched up. Both ends and I'm scrunching it up. And just move this one out your way. And if some come out, it's no problem. You put it back in a couple of minutes. That's it. Work on this side, pull it up, pinch it down, and flip it over so you can get both ends. Get both ends. You try to make sure it's even. Grab both ends. You see how that's even. Pull it up, scrunch it down, and you just keep repeating this process. So all you're doing is keep repeating this process. All right? Keep repeating the process. Now, let me explain something to you. When you're doing this, then once you get them, then you pull them apart. You see how I'm just pulling the ends together, pulling them apart, and just pulling them into each other. So it looks like one cohesive thing. Can you tell it's two separate pieces? No. It all looks good, right? Look at that. That's the look you want. Now, if you want this to be tighter, then you add more pulls in. You know, you scrunch it and scrunch it and scrunch it and pull it until you just can't fit no more. And then these waves will be a lot tighter. I like mine to be loose, you know, not too loose, but loose enough, you know, where it looks good like this, look more relaxed like this. And this is how I like it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next group. See, we got this section here. We filled up this section. Now we got to fill up this section. And we got 5 sections to do. This is 6. So this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going down to the next section. This time, I'm going to pull both at the same time. And you're saying, Katrina, what are you doing? I'm going to pull both of them at the same time. And like I said, in the beginning, you may not be able to do this. It may be a little confusing, which it shouldn't once I show you how to do it. Okay? But when I first did it, I didn't see how I didn't see nobody show me. I couldn't find a video where somebody showed me doing 2 at the same time. I kind of figured it out on my own. So we go to this outer ring, right? The 2 middle rings. We bring that burlap that we have for that ring around it, like we just did for the row, for the section above it. We try to even it out, right? So that's even. Then we go to the next inner ring, bring the burlap up around that ring, just like we did in the first section, and we even that as well. Now at this time, I'm just laying my burlap across my table because it just helps me when it lays straighter than when it's coming all twisted up off the table. And then you try to kind of separate it just a little bit. Kind of makes it easier when you're pulling it in and trying to feed it in, especially when you're trying to do 2 at one time. So as you can see, I have this grouping here, which is one roll of burlap, and then I have this grouping here, which is the second roll of burlap. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to scrunch it right up. And I'm going to go and I'm going to go 1, 2, pull this up. I'm going to go 1, 2 on the other side. Make sure it's even, pull it up, and then I'm going to scrunch it up. So we're going 1, 2, making sure we got that first roll of burlap. Then we're going to come over here, 1, 2, for the second burlap roll. It's just about even. We slide it down. 1, 2, pull up. 1, 2, pull up, slide it down. One of my rolls has gotten stuck. All right. And this is just, once you get, like, I can go through this really quick, but I want to show you guys really slowly how to do it because this is a very easy wreath to do. Not a lot of cutting, measuring, and all that type of stuff. It's just attach it and just pull it through. So we're going to go get these 2 pieces, 1, 2. We get the next 2 pieces, 1, 2. We pull it up. Try to even it, right? And it don't have to be perfect, remember. And you just scrunch it up. So we pull that one over, this one over. So we got 1, 2. We do the next for the next one. 1, 2. And then we pull it over. 1, 2. 1, 2. We pull it down. 1, 2. 1, 2. And we pull it down. 1, 2. 1, 2. And we pull it down. Now, I think that's more than enough in this section because it feels like it's getting a little tight. And what I do is I just pull like the middle ones, I pull them apart, and then I pull them over into each other. Like, you don't want it to be open like this. You don't want it to open like that, right? So what you want to do is take one inside and on both sides and then pull them into each other. And you see how they close up that gap? Right? So that's how you want to do it. Make sure you work that out. And you can fiddle around with it. Right now, we just want to get it on. So what do you think? That's the first 2 sections. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know. I love this method. When I first started making my wreaths, this was the first, I think, method that I really started making my wreaths, my letter wreaths. It's when I was just starting out. So I really like this style wreath. And it's real simple. It's really pretty. Burlap is always something pretty. So now we're going to go to the next section. So now we're on section 3. So we want to do the same thing. We want to take this one and go in between that inner ring, that outer inner ring, right? See how we have that there? Even it up. Take the other one, the second one, and do the same thing. And I need some water. I didn't bring my water down. My throat is dry. And we want to try to even it up. And we have it. And we scrunch it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure it's even. Scrunch it down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to even it. That's a little low. And scrunch it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 And you're just pulling the material up and around those bars. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to get it even and pull it up. 1, 2. And like I said, you can count this if you want to. If you want to be exact, all right, you know, exactly matching on both sides. So that seems a little tight for me. That's it, and it's just by feel. Like when you feel it and it starts getting tight in your hand, then okay, stop and then pull it open. And see if this is where you want it. Because you know what? If you need to add some more, guess what? You can. Real simple. You just pull it through. That's it. You add what you want. So you don't have to worry about it. When you get to these little joint areas, you just blend it in. Look at that. We already 3 sections down. We got 3 more to go. What do you think? Hello, Laura. Thanks for joining me. So we got 3 more sections to go, but you see how pretty that is? Simple burlap, simple burlap. No cutting. All we had to do was cut the ends at the end. That's it. And you know what? You really didn't have to do that. That's just me being OCD. That's all it is. So we're going to go to the next section and go to the inside outer ring. Remember, we're working. Let me show you again, just for those just started. We're working on these 2 rings right here. These two rings right here. And we're wrapping this ring, and we're wrapping this ring with the burlap. So we're wrapping this ring and this ring with the burlap. That's all we're doing. We're working with these 2 rings. So we take the burlap and we wrap that first ring. Well, it's really the second ring if you're looking at it from the outside. And then we're pulling the burlap, second row of burlap around that second inner ring. And we're evening out the burlap. See, we even out the burlap. So you got 1 row of burlap around this ring and 1 row of burlap around the second one. We even it out and we pull it. Go 1, 2, we pull it up again. 1, 2, that's 4. We pull it up. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got the ends and they're together. 1, 2, 3, 4. The ends are together. 1, 2. And when it starts curling, then you know, because you can't find that other side. So what you do is 1, and you make sure you count 2. So you know you got 2. You go 3, and then up. We don't have 4, right? We can't find it, so then we have to find it. So here go 4 right here, 4. So we know we have it. That's how you know you won't mess up. You know you got to have four pieces here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you pull it. And when they start weaving together, which they will, you just work them apart. That's all. They just started laying on top of each other. And that's fine because you're pulling them like in the same direction. So they want to go together. So we pull again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you pull it. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. And then you pull it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You pull it. And I'm going to do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and then you pull it. And then that's it, because I don't want it to be too tight. Now, if you want it to be tighter, like I said, you keep going. You keep pulling them in. And you just ruffle them out. Like I said, you don't want it to have that open middle. So you bring one in across over on the other end, and it blends right in. Look at that. That's what we have. And we're going to keep going. We haven't even touched the other 2 rows. Right? We're still working with the first 2 rows. We'll have to see if we have to. I can't remember whether we need to break into that or not. So once again, we go with these 2 inner rows. These 2 inner rows right here. These are what we're wrapping. This one and this one with the burlap. Okay? So we take the burlap. We go around that 1 rail there. See, we have it. Surround it. And then we take the burlap and we go around the second one. And take your time. There's no need to rush. Don't get frustrated with yourself. If, you know, the burlap don't want to lay down, don't worry about it. Just take your time. When you're first doing it, until you just get used to doing it, you know, it may seem a little crazy, but it's real simple. So now we have 1, 2, and that's around this rail. 1, 2, and this is around the second rail. We pull it up and we scrunch it. 1, 2, then we come to the next rail. 1, 2, pull it up, scrunch it. 1, 2, and see this one now is hiding behind this, so you just take your time and move it. So we got 1, 2, and then we find this side, which is 1, 2. We pull it up, see if it's somewhat even, scrunch it down. See how this one turned? You just turn it back over. That's all. You just turn it back over. 1, 2, even it up. 1, 2, even it up and give it a scrunch. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, give it a scrunch. 1, 2, 1, 2, give it a scrunch. 1, 2, 1, 2, pull it up, give it a scrunch. 1, 2, 1, 2, pull it up, give it a scrunch. 1, 2, 1, 2, pull it up, give it a scrunch. Now you got to be mindful of it being getting caught up on your edges of your wreath form. If it do, just be careful. When you feel resistance, stop, look at it, because you don't want to pull on it, because it'll get caught in these holes and it'll rip it. And then you'll have like an open little nasty part, which you may not be able to see. But then again, if it's at the top, you may see it. So we want to make sure if this feels like it's snagging, right, stop and release it. And that way you can stop it from messing up your burlap. Okay. So I think that's going to be enough in this one. We're going to bring it down, because I don't want, like I said, I don't want it too tight. We bring this side over. And if you need more, say if you stop too soon, it looks a little too loose, more loose than the other one, then you just add up 1 or 2 more loops in. I'm looking at it. Nope. Looks right to me. Nice and thick. See, one more. We got one more section to do. That's how it looks. One more section to do. And look how clean the back is. Like, you don't have to worry about this messing with your customer's door, window, wall, or whatever, because it's just burlap. And the burlap sticks out. So really the reframe really won't really touch the back of the door too much, because you have the little poof parts of the burlap. So that's a plus. At least for me anyway. I'm OCD about covering the back of my wreaths. I don't want them to scrape up my customers' walls, windows, or doors. Okay, so we're gonna go to this last section. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pull a burlap around that one inner ring, and then we're going to take the other row, the other burlap, and we're going to pull it through the second inner ring. Now it starts to get tight in here, so like I said, be patient with yourself. Be patient. And it's starting to get tight, so you just got to be patient. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know we got it. We pulled it up, so we know it's around the bars, right? And we just scrunch it down. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we scrunch it. 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 1, 2, right? We know it's around that bar. 3, 4, and we scrunch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we scrunch it. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we scrunch it. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we scrunch it. And I think I'm gonna do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we scrunch it. And I think that's more than enough. So then you take the end of that one, you fold them over into each other, blend that in, blend this over. Just open them up and blend them into each other. Just play around with it. No big deal. No rhyme or reason. Then when you look at it straightforward, you may have to move some pieces around or blend something together. Let me see. Now our raggedy little ends, like this is burlap, so it's fine. But you can tuck it down a little bit if you want to. And that could be where you put your picks. So cover that up with your picks. But look, we're done. And we still got rolls of mesh left. Okay? So 2 rolls of mesh, you know. And that's because I'm doing double at one time. So I take my rotary cutter. And I actually roll it and cut it. Like I said, if you have scissors, then just use a scissors. Don't get bent out of shape because you don't have a rotary cutter. So then what I do for my back is I hold these 2 pieces together. And see, this is my where I first connected it at, right? So I cut that off. I actually fold these into each other. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but this is how I fold it into each other, right? And try to make it flat. And then I come to this outer ring and I take a zip tie and I go underneath the outer ring through this burlap and back over and attach it to make sure it don't come down. But there's another way you can do it too. You can actually stick it down. Say if you want to make it even flatter, stick both of these burlap pieces down, right? So it's laying flat. I got my hand on the back of it, and I'm going to take this zip tie, and I'm going to try to weave my way through it so I can feel it. I feel it. I'm going to bring it around here, and I'm going to attach it. And then I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to stick this little sharp part, and I'm going to twist it around until I get it underneath, so it's no longer sharp. Then I'm going to take these little ends, the straggling pieces, and I'm just going to put it underneath this bar here, so it lays flat. And nobody sees that, right? Nobody sees that part. Nobody's going to see that. You have yourself the base of a burlap wreath. Look at that. We're done. If you want, you can buy a little red bow at the store and put it on, and you're done with a holiday wreath if you want to. You can change it for whatever season you want. You could just do a simple wreath like this and do simple bows and change it out for the seasons. That's it. This is so versatile. It can go for any season, and then you can make it for any reason as well. Okay? But we're making it a winter wreath. So we're going to pull out our ribbon. At this point, I'm going to pull out our ribbon. And I think I'm going to do this as my base ribbon. Put this over here. This is my base ribbon. And I want to just do a bow. Now I'm trying to find that spot where I saw some little straggling ends, which is right there. So I want to cover that. So I'm going to just make a bow size on my hand. Just make a bow, because I want to see how big I want my loops to be on my bow, right? On this wreath. Because depending on the size of your wreath, you don't need a humongous bow on this wreath. You know, you want to make sure your bow matches the size of your wreath, right? So how I do that is I actually do a loop on my wreath like this to see if this size would look good with this wreath, and I think it will. So when I go to my easy bow maker, I see where my hand is pinched, I come through, and this is like a 5.5, 6-inch bow. Okay, so I'm going to do like maybe, I always like to do maybe a 10-inch tail, give it a twist. Then I come through here and I give it a twist because this ribbon has a good and a bad side. You can barely see it, but there is. So we're going to go with 6 inches on both sides. And somehow my 6 inch on this side and this side looks totally different, but we can always shape that up. And we're going to go with 2 loops on each side. So it would be 4 loops. And I'm just matching them up. And then I pull it down and I match up these ends and I give it a cut. And then I'll move on to the next ribbon. Now the next ribbon, my loops are going to be a little smaller. I'm not going to make it the same 6 inches. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And I think I'm going to go with my base. And I don't think I have a lot of this ribbon, so we'll just have to play it by ear if it matches, if it has enough or not. If it's not, then I'll just make it smaller. And then we're going to come in maybe about an inch. Maybe about an inch. Half an inch in. I'm going to curl it because I don't think we're going to have enough to do 4. We're going to see. I don't think we will. But we're going to try to squeeze it out. That's the second one. Twist this. This is the 4th one, and we got just enough. And we do a tail. See? It's off the spool. There you go. And it's off the spool. And we don't need to cut it because that's the end of it anyway. So then we're going to go to this one. And we're going to make another 10-inch tail. I'm going to lay it down in the Easy Bow Maker. And I forgot a step, but we'll go back to it. But this is the Easy Bow Maker. We're going to make this an inch, half an inch to an inch shorter than that one. And we're going to do 4 loops. And what I'm doing is when I do my loops, when I push it down in the middle, I give it a little twist, as you can see. And that just brings the right side of the ribbon up for me to make a loop. Now, I like to do a little button loop in the middle that covers the middle. You don't have to do that because a lot of times when you fluff your ribbon, you won't see that middle anyway. I'm a little OCD. I want to make sure you can't see the middle. So I do a little button loop and I'll show you what that is. Now I have my 2, 2, and 2. But I twist it one more time and then I do like a little 2-inch, 1 to 2 inch right there. Little piece right there. And then I'll bring this down, make sure it's the right length, and I give it a little cut. So what I didn't show you is how I set up for this. And I'm going to show it to you now. A little bit more difficult to show you after I've put the ribbon up here. But I'm going to pick up all my ribbon. And I'm going to place my zip tie across my Easy Bow Maker. And I'm going to take my chenille stem and I'm going to stick it in between these 2 tall sticks right here. It's going to go in between underneath. Because this is what we use to attach the bow to the wreath. The zip tie is what we use to tighten the bow, to keep all the ribbons together. So I take my zip tie, I come from underneath, and then I start closing my zip tie to tighten all these ribbons together. Now, why is that not cinching? Is that not facing right? Nope, it's not facing right. Okay. So I'm pulling my ribbon together. Now, I don't want to cinch in tight all the way because look at this. It's not even, right? It's not in the middle. So we want to move it over into the middle. And then we want to bring that piece here to the bottom. Now, when I look at my bow, I want to make sure that my bows are even on both sides. So how I do that, so let me move my tails out the way, is I actually bend it and see if where it's bent at, that my, see how my bows is even on both sides. See how my loops are just about the same on both sides, right? Where I have it bent at. And that's exactly what my chenille stem is. So I always like to lay it flat. Once I've seen that, I push it down and I pull my chenille stem, I pull my zip tie very, very tight. Now my bow is tight and secure. So I take my wire cutter and I snip that off. Did I cut my, did I cut my chenille stem? Because I've been known to do that. Then I pull my chenille stem. And this is what I use to stick through the burlap to attach it to my wreath, right? So here's our bow. That's it right there. Now I'm not going to go through all the fluffing. I'm going to attach it first and then go through the fluffing. And let me tell you something, it's hard for me to do that because I would have fluffed this bow right now so bad. Woo! But I'm trying to get better. We're wasting time doing things that I'm going to fluff and refluff anyway 16 million times. So you just find out where you want it. I want it right here on this side of my wreath frame. And you just find a little open area. Push your burlap over to the side a little bit. Go in between your burlap. I'm sorry. My throat is really, really dry right now. And get your chenille stem to the back on one side of a rail. And then we work on getting it on the other side of a rail. And it's just about finding a thin area where you can get your Chanel stem through. And this is what we did, and that's it on the back. See? Got the rail in the middle. So, and then we just take it and we just give it a good twist to secure it. Now, I don't want it that tight, so I'm gonna bring it up some. This is sitting down because my picks has got to fit. I want it to fit under here, not under the actual tie for the bow, but I want it to fit under the bow. So I don't want my bow smushed down into the burlap. I just want it a little secure. So I'm not going to squish it down. I'm just going to make sure it's just secure. And I'm going to give it a couple of good twists, and I'm not going to cut it off yet. Hey, Laura. That's pretty. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, thank you. All right, now I'm going to fluff a little bit. I'm going to let you know I'm fluffing now, but trust me, I'm going to fluff 15 million times after this. So I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm going to take my tails. I'm going to pull them down, get them out of the way. Then I'm going to take my bottom 2 loops. I want you to be able to see this. And I spread them apart. And I just run my hands in them, right, to open them up. And I take these 2, spread them apart, and I open them up. And what I'm doing at this point was I have this green, gold, and tan here, a plain tan, and then a green, gold tan, then a plain tan. So then I'm going to take these 2 up here, I'm going to spread them apart, and I'm going to put them where you see the tan, then this ribbon, the red ribbon, with the pine cones, and then another tan. See how that is? See how that's spaced out? See how it is? So you got the green, the tan, the green, and then here you got the one with the acorns, the tan, and then the acorns. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And it's going to move around a little bit on you. That's fine. Because remember, I didn't cinch it all the way down. Because we're going to put those picks under it. So everything is going to get fixed in. And remember, once you put your picks in, then I can go to the back. Remember, I didn't cut it off. I can go to the back. I can untwist it and cinch it down just a little bit more to make sure everything is secure. So we're opening up these ribbons. Opening up the bow. And then I go in that middle and I open up that little tiny bow in the middle. And when you're fluffing, you can be doing this forever. So get to a point where it's okay. And I have to get to a point where it's okay. I'm just going to actually just run my hand underneath my ribbon. Just give me a little curl. I'm actually going to cut this off because that's bothering me hanging it long. I'm going to give it a little curl. So this is what you have. Is it right? Yeah. But now we're going to put the picks in. Okay? So this bow is a little loose. But that's fine. But you see that little button right there in the middle? So you can't see the middle in any kind of way. Right? That's why I do that. You don't have to do that. But I do it because I'm just OCD about seeing the middle of my bow. So now we're going to take the pick. Now, I'm going to tell you, be honest. Remember to take off your tags. Because I have been known to forget to take off my daggone tags. Okay. This one don't look like it have it. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. And I'm just fluffing and putting it around just a little bit. Now, you don't have to just use one. I'm just using one for this because I want it to be as simple as possible. And I want it to be inexpensive as possible. Now, of course, because you go to a store and get a pick that's $17 like my last grapevine wreath was. I had 2 picks that was $17 a piece. We all know, what is that, $34 just for the picks. Okay? This was $4.99 a piece. Okay, so you have to, when you're thinking about making wreaths, and you make sure you want to have a price value that suits all of your customers. The ones that just want to pay $80 to the ones that don't mind paying $200. So you want to make sure you have those in there. So I'm just going to take this pick, and I'm just going to place it underneath that bow. Now you can move this pick around because it's wired. So I can take the pick and actually bend it where it's a curve. I'm going to take it and put on the outer side of the bow. I think it'll look better on the outer side of the bow. Yes, it does. And I'm just doing placement right now. I'm not attaching anything right now. This one has a tag, so I'm going to make sure I take the tag off. Okay, so I'm just doing placement right now. So I'm going to put this on the outer because I think it looks better on the outer side of the bow. So I'm just placing this where the stick goes on the outer side of the bow. And I'm going to give it a twist. So look at that. Already, that's a beautiful, beautiful wreath. Look at that. What do you guys think so far? What do you think? I think it looks great. I mean, this is a quick and simple winter wreath. This can stay up all winter. Like some people that don't they don't celebrate Christmas per se. They love the holiday season. They love the winter season. This is something that you can give to a person like that. Maybe they don't celebrate particularly the Christmas holiday. Maybe, you know, unfortunately that holiday brings back sorrow from losing a loved one, and they don't want to have nothing too much, but they still want to feel like they're little in the season. This wreath right here would be great for that because it's not over the top. It's something that's really little simple. You know, the jingle would help them remember that it is a joyous time, even though it may be a time that they're having a difficulty getting through. But I think this wreath right here would be perfect for that. Also, this wreath right here would be perfect, you know, to be in a nursing home, a hospital, assisted living, someplace that you really don't need something big and voluptuous, but you still want that person there to have some spirit of the season. This is perfect for that. Perfect for that. So now at this point, I'm going to cinch it down. So I'm deciding, do I want to do zip ties or do I want to do Chanel strings? I think I'm going to do zip ties. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this outside and I'm going to pick the bow up. And let's see if I can show you guys. The Chanel's this zip tie. You see where the sticks are meeting, right? The stems are meeting. I'm going to attach a zip tie to one and attach a zip tie to the other right here where they are. Now, I have my glue gun on and I'm thinking I want to hit it with just a little bit of glue underneath just to hold them down, and then I'm going to cinch it down with like a zip tie just to make sure it doesn't come up. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a zip tie and I'm gonna attach it here, and I'm gonna attach it on the other one at the top, find a location, and I'm also gonna hit it with a little glue. So that's what I'm doing right now, because I know you guys won't be able to see that from this angle. So this is the placement I want that. I'm moving it out the way. I'm actually going to use a bigger zip tie so I don't have to do too much figuring out. I'm going to pull it through and I'm going to feed it back up. And that's what's so good about burlap, is like the holes are so big in the burlap material that your zip tie will fit straight through without too much fuss. So as you can hear, I'm cinching one down. I want to make sure placement is right before I cinch it real tight. Yeah, that's where I want it. And I'm not cinching it down like super tight, just enough where I get a little resistance. I know it's holding, and then I'm going to hit it with a little glue, and I'm also going to cut off that excess stem, not the whole excess stem, but just maybe I'm going to leave an inch on. And then I'm going to hit that with a little glue. I'm also going to take the burlap. See how it's showing through the burlap? I'm actually going to take the burlap and I'm going to bring some burlap over it once I glue it down and hide it. Okay? Camouflage it. That's all. Just give it a little camouflage. So let's hit that with a little glue. I'm going to find a good spot that's got a good area where I can glue down very well. For some reason, like I said, I think I got to get a new glue gun because this glue gun is not wanting to work like it used to. Oh, let's get another glue stick. Down a little bit. Just gotta feed it back in there. There we go. Place that placement for everything. A little burlap around it so can't nobody really still see the stem. Nobody really see the stem. Just that's all. And then you just mess around with this pick, you know, pull it where you want it, place it where you want it. Go around to the top here, pull this back down to the back. You know, we want it about right there. And do the same thing, same thing. What do you guys think? It's pretty, Laura, thank you. Let me just attach this, go through the burlap. Like I said, this is an easy wreath to do. It's not a hard wreath to do. 1, 2, 3. You just got to have the picks. That's it. Find the picks. That's all you got to do is find the picks. We're going to come back up to the back. Put the burlap in the back. And we're just going to attach the pick down a little bit. Give it a little cinch. Put this down. Make sure placement is good. Placement is great. Give it a little bit more cinch. There you go. Cut off that little excess stem at the back. Hit it with a little glue. A little extra security of it not moving. And there you go. Now your fluff. And we are done. How simple was that? How simple was that? Absolutely, absolutely easy, simple, not much to think about. You already have the picks. I mean, the most you have to think about is where you want to put the picks in your bow, right? That was your big decision. It's where to put your picks and where to put your bow. That was the biggest decision you've had. What do you guys think about this wreath right here? I'm going to fluff on this other side. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Fluff on this other side. And sometimes when you have picks that want to interfere with the bow, just pick the bow up on top of it. That's all. And the bow will lay on top of your picks. And also, you know, you can move your picks down because it has wire, so you can move that around. So don't be afraid to move stuff around to make your bow look beautiful. All right, so So I think what I'm going to do with this, with my tails, is just, I'm just going to do like a little slant, maybe a little curl. So I'm going to do like a little slant cut at the base. Because I'm going to do like a little curl. Have them have like a little curl. And then if you want to change it, you can always change it and let it hang long. But I'm gonna give it like a little curl, just a little curl. I think the curls will look cute. But like I said, this is wire ribbon. So if you do it and you realize, oh, I don't really like the curls, uncurl it. Not rocket science. It's always something you can fix and you can change. You can do. You can leave them long if you like. Whatever you choose to do, it is totally up to you. But I'm going to curl this and then I'm going to call it a night. I have such a headache. I don't know if you guys can realize, but my eyes are really, really tiny tonight because I have such a headache. But I wanted to come on because unfortunately this headache has been off and on for a while now. So when I come home, I just want to sleep. So I haven't been able to come and do videos with you guys. But I refuse to do that again tonight. I wanted to come on and do a video with you guys. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy this. I'm hoping you guys are thinking about possibly trying to make this wreath. Oh, that is so flipping cute. Where's my acorn? Okay, I have my acorn peeking out from there. Yeah. I have a little acorn peeking out from there. Absolutely. I think that is gorgeous. Now, of course, you just take your greenery and you put it where you want it, spread it out. But like I said, this is a simple and easy wreath. Move your bells around. You're done. You are done. Here you go. Happy holidays. I think this wreath says it. It says winter. It says holidays. It is great. Like I told you, this is great for those people that really don't celebrate the holidays, the Christmas per se, but they do love the winter season because all this says really is winter and it's a holiday wreath. So if this is something you feel like you can make or you want, just let me know. DM me and I'll let you know what the price is if you're interested. Please, in the link in the description, you should find a link to my YouTube. If you head on over to my YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll see how I make more of my other design wreaths there. I also just started uploading my balloon decor, how I make those, how I also store stuff, how I pack stuff, so forth and so on. So you get a lot of background. So you go over to my YouTube, you'll see a lot of that. I recently did a winter centerpiece out of some glasses and some bowls. So you guys go on over to my YouTube, subscribe, and check those videos out as well. Hey, when you get over there, make sure you guys share my YouTube. I need to get my YouTube channel to grow. I'm still not at 1,000 subscribers in my YouTube channel. I really need you guys' help to get me there. So if you can go over to my YouTube channel with the link below and subscribe and share it and have your family and friends subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. It would just only help my business grow, and it's free. What I'm asking you to do is free. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps help out my business a lot. Okay, guys, make sure you comment. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you think this was easy. Was it too complicated? What do you think about it? Let me know. I think it's an easy burlap, a winter wreath. It came out great. You guys let me know in a comment what you think. I hope on Sunday I can come back and show you the pull-through method of a burlap wreath. This is a pull-through, I mean a poof method with the burlap wreath, not a pull-through. This was the pull-through. The poof method that I do with burlap. I want to show you guys how I do that. Hopefully I can do that on Sunday. Hopefully this headache of mine is gone and I can really, really focus with you guys. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like I said, please go over to my YouTube. I think I attached a link in the description so you can head over to my YouTube. If it's not, if the link is not working, it's Kathleen Creations, Wreaths and Things on YouTube. If you put that in, you'll see my link. Or if you go on Facebook, you will see where you can go on and link, and you can see all of my, if you go to my link tree, you will be able to hit all of my social media. I'm on Pinterest, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram. Obviously, I'm on Facebook, and I have a YouTube channel. So if you guys can support those, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It costs you nothing at all, but maybe about a minute to search them all, maybe to like them all, also to subscribe. I hope you will, and I hope you will tell your family and friends to do the same. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this wreath, and look for a video from me on Sunday. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.